One book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. These are the important words spoken by the world's youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner, Malala Yousafzai. Malala fought for women's rights, and she was an active advocate for women's educational rights in Pakistan. And she's now known all over the world for her inspirational story where she almost got shot to death in Pakistan at the tender age of 15 years old. Hello everyone, and welcome to our new show, Women of Substance with Nikki. And we're going to talk about the inspirational stories of all the famous personalities all over the world who inspire us women to be better and to empower other women to do better. We're going to go in depth with their inspirational story that we know and some of the things we may not have known so far. And today we're going to talk about Malala Yousafzai.
The reason for which I'm here is going to be heard. That is, education. This word seems a bit complex, but it simply means the right to learning.
So now let's talk about Malala Yousafzai's childhood and how she was brought up. She was born in July 12, 1997 in Mangori, Pakistan, and she went to the school founded by her father. She was an early advocate fighting for women's educational rights. When she was young and she discovered the Taliban's attacks in Swat, Pakistan, she decided to give a speech. In her speech, which was happening in Peshawar, Pakistan of September of 2008, it was titled, "How Dare the Taliban Take Away My Right to Education?"
I come from a beautiful paradise-like valley called Swat, which is in the north of Pakistan. 3 years ago, Swat was a target of terrorism. In the month of January 2009, the terrorists, they used to slaughter 2 or 3 innocent people every night. They snatched the right of freedom and equality from women. They blasted more than 400 schools. They snatched pens from our hands. And we had to hide our books under our shawls to pretend that we are not students.
In early 2009, Malala decided to start blogging for BBC about the harsh conditions living under Taliban's threat for going to school. And despite all the threats that she had been receiving from Taliban, she kept blogging. But unfortunately, in December of the same year, she was revealed to be the BBC blogger. Despite that incident, Malala kept becoming an advocate for women's educational rights. In 2011, Malala Yousafzai was nominated for International Children's Peace Prize Award, and the same year she received a prize, Pakistan's National Youth Peace Prize Award. When Malala was 14 years old, her and her family learned that Taliban had been making death threats against her for her advocacy for women's educational rights. October 9, 2012, a man boarded the school bus where Malala was riding with the girls going back to their home. The man asked the question, "Who is Malala?" And despite the girls not saying a single word, the nervousness on their faces told everything. and the man raised his pistol and shot 3 times, out of which one of the shot hit Malala in her head, putting her very close to death. Although she did lose consciousness, she did regain consciousness. Although her physical body might be deteriorating, her mental strength was strong enough to keep her alive.
I believe that God saved my life. People's prayers saved my life. And of course, Colonel Junaid saved my life. Thank you so much.
Despite the Taliban shooter trying to knock down her courage, Malala continued being an advocate for women's educational rights. And in her 16th birthday, just 9 months after the shoot, she decided to go to UN headquarters in New York and presented a speech at a special convent youth assembly, where she quoted, "One child, one pencil, one book, one teacher can change the world," and she was 100% right. One person can bring the change in the world. Because of her, many others have been inspired all over the world to fight for basic educational rights for women that they are deprived of in third world countries.
One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
In this section of the show, we're going to show you interviews of Malala. In this interview with Alan, Malala tells us why she doesn't hold any grudges against the man who shot her and why she forgives him.
So you were shot in the face at 15 years old, and you have no anger towards the man who shot you. How is that possible?
I think they made a big mistake because I was fighting for the right of education right from the beginning when the Taliban stopped girls from going to school. But I had this little bit of fear that what would happen to me, how would I feel if someone attacks me? But after that incident when I was attacked, that fear just went away. And as I said in my speech at the United Nations, that my weakness, my fear, and my hopelessness died on that day. And I became stronger than before. And now I strongly believe that nothing can stop me in this mission, in this campaign of education to say that girls deserve the right to go to school. And it's the love of people as well that has encouraged me and helped me not to think about what I have went through in my life. So when I see people praying for me, taking care of me, and sending cards and letters every day, it makes me stronger. It makes me strong every day, and I feel that whatever happened to me, I should now forget about it and continue my life with more courage and more work.
I've always wondered what made her so courageous enough to fight for women's educational rights at such a young age. In this interview, she tells us why. She was going back to Swat from Islamabad, where she saw a little girl on the streets, and she says that is what made her courageous enough to fight for women.
I was going back to Swat from Islamabad, and on my way, I saw a girl, and she had a needle kind of stick that was not pen, and she had a paper of some advertisement, and she was trying to write with that. And I saw that girl, and she was selling oranges with her father. And I saw her in the Malakand. That's a very beautiful place. So I felt in my heart that why not this girl goes to school? Why not she study? Why not she learn about oranges, that where the oranges come from? Why not she study about trees, about plants, instead of working all the day? And I could see that she loved education. And when I asked her, do you love school? She was really committed for education, but she couldn't go to school because she was a very small girl. Nearly, her age was 9 or 10. So I said to myself that, Malala, now you need to work for education of girls. And you need to work for the education of every child. Because usually we talk about terrorism, but not only terrorism is the hurdle. There are many other things that are stopping girls to go to school. We can see that children are suffering from child labor. Because of poverty, they have to do child trafficking. They are victims of early forced marriages. They are victims of sexual violence. And as well as the cultural norms and traditions are stopping them.
In October of 2014, Malala Yousafzai won the Nobel Peace Prize Award along with the Indian activist Kailash Satyarthi. This made her the youngest prize winner at the age of 17 years old, which made her country proud. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif said she has made the entire country proud and her achievements are unparalleled and unequaled, and boys and girls around the world should take examples from her lead. And the UN Secretary General said, through the simple act of going to school, she has become a global teacher and she is a gentle peace advocate of the world. Malala has taught the world a lot of things, that you can fight violence with peace, and that one person can make a change all over the world, no matter what age you are.
This award is not just for me. It is for those forgotten children who want education. It is for those frightened children who want peace. It is for those voiceless children who want change. I'm here to stand up for their rights, to raise their voice. It is not time to pity them. It is not time to pity them. It is time to take action. So it becomes the last time. The last time. So it becomes the last time that we see a child deprived of education.
Malala is sensitive, sensible, and wise beyond her years. She is extraordinary and she has experienced the best of humanity as well as the worst of humanity, from Taliban, but the best because of the people that cared for her, the millions of people that sent messages, that sent flowers, that took care of her during her time of need. And she kept reminding us to focus in ourselves, to focus in education, and to fight for what we believe in. Despite getting threats and despite getting shot so close to death at the age of 15 years old, she kept fighting for what she believed in and she fought for what she thought was right. And that's what she has taught us all. With her inspirational story, we learned that one voice can make a difference. So remember, although the world might be a scary place, one small voice can make a difference. And I'll see you next time with another amazing personality. Until then, keep believing in yourself.
We must not forget that millions of children are out of their schools. We must not forget that our sisters and brothers are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, poverty, and terrorism. Let us pick up our books and our pens. They are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
Ravi Ahluwalia, Managing Attorney of Ahluwalia Law Offices, a premier boutique law firm based in Dallas with an East Coast office. Practice in areas of corporate, immigration, and family law matters. It's your first choice, second opinion law firm. Call us. Let's talk. Contact us at 972-361-0606. That's 972-361-0606.